After spending the night at a hotel with a prostitute, a politician takes three $100 bills out of his wallet and places them on the dresser. "Thanks," says the hooker, "but I only charge 20 bucks. 20 bucks for the whole night," the politician says. "There is no way you can make a living on that." "Oh, don't worry," replies the prostitute. "I do a little blackmail on the side."
I met my new neighbor today and asked, "So what do you do for a living?" He says, "I am a professor of logic at the university." I go, "What is that?" He says, "Well, it is easier if I show you. Do you have a doghouse?" "Yeah, well then logically, you probably have a dog, right?" "Yeah." "And if you have a dog, then logically you have kids who wanted one?" "Yeah, I have kids." "And if you have kids, then logically you are married." "I am." So he concludes, "Well, then logically you are a straight guy." Ladder. I run into another neighbor. He asks, "Did you meet the new neighbor? What does he do?" I say, "He is a logic professor." "What is that?" "Well, it is easier if I show you. Do you have a doghouse number?" "Well, then logically you must be gay."
What is that? Kindergarten teacher was holding up pictures of animals for her class to identify. All went well until she held up a picture of a deer. No response. Silence. She hinted, "It is what your mommy calls your daddy." "I know! I know!" excitedly exclaimed one child. "It is a horny bastard."
There are two chickens standing on the side of the road pecking around for food. Chicken 1 asks Chicken 2, "What do you think is on the other side of the road?" Chicken 2 looks over, shrugs and says, "Who knows? But if you're interested, why don't you walk over there and see?" Chicken 1 decides this is a good idea and wanders over. When she gets there, she looks around a bit and starts scratching and pecking around. After a few minutes, Chicken 2 looks across and yells out, "Hey, so, what's on the other side of the road?" Chicken 1 looks back at her companion, tips her head to one side and shouts back, "You're on the other side."
At school, a boy was asked, "What did you do last week?" "Daddy fell into the well last week." "Oh, is he all right?" "I think he's okay. I haven't heard him screaming for help since yesterday."
A guy walks into a bar with a talking dog. He bets $100 the dog can answer questions. What's on top of a house? Roof. How does sandpaper feel? Rough. Who's the greatest baseball player? Ruth. The bartender kicks them out. Outside, the dog looks at the guy and says, "Do you think I should have said DiMaggio?"
I was at a job interview today when the manager handed me his laptop and said, "I want you to try to sell this to me." So I put it under my arm, walked out of the building, and went home. Eventually, he called me and said, "Bring my laptop back here right now." I said, $200 and it's yours. A couple of guys are at a bar. The first guy says to his buddy, "My wife just admitted to me that she's been having an affair with Bob the mailman." "What?" says his buddy. "That fat, ugly slob I see every morning outside your house?" "That's right," says the first guy. "Jesus," says his buddy. "Why would Bob the mailman want to fuck that?" A priest was raging to his deacon that his bike was stolen. "They took it from right outside the church," he complained. "I've been a priest for 25 years, and I've never heard of such a thing." The deacon tells him to go through the commandments for Sunday Mass, and when you get to the part about "thou shalt not steal," lay it on thick and observe the congregation, and look for someone consumed with guilt. Sunday comes, and the priest goes through the 10 commandments. Afterward, the deacon asks if he had spotted anyone acting strange. The priest replied, "Never mind. When I got to 'thou shalt not commit adultery,' I remembered where I'd left it." A little boy comes home from school and his mom asks, "How was your walk back home from school?" The little boy says, "Well, on the way home from school, I saw Dad. He was in a car with Aunt Susie, and he unbuttoned her shirt, and then he took her bra off, and then..." His mom says, "Let's save the rest of the story for when Dad comes home for dinner." Dad comes home for dinner. Mom says to the little boy, "How was your walk back home from school again?" The little boy says, "Well, on the way home from school, I saw Dad. He was in a car with Aunt Susie, and he unbuttoned her shirt, and then he took her bra off." Mom says, "And then what happened?" And the little boy says, "And then Dad and Aunt Susie started doing the same thing that you and Uncle Roy did when Dad was away in the army." The KGB, the FBI, and the CIA are all trying to prove that they are the best at catching criminals. The Secretary General of the UN decides to give them a test. He releases a rabbit into a forest and each of them has to catch it. The CIA goes in. They place animal informants throughout the forest. They question all plant and mineral witnesses. After 3 months of extensive investigations, they conclude that the rabbit does not exist. The FBI goes in. After 2 weeks with no leads, they burn the forest, killing everything in it, including the rabbit, and make no apologies. The rabbit had it coming. The KGB goes in. They come out 2 hours later with a badly beaten bear. The bear is yelling, "Okay, okay, I'm a rabbit, I'm a rabbit." A little rabbit is running happily through the forest when he stumbles upon a giraffe rolling a joint. The rabbit looks at the giraffe and says, "Giraffe, my friend, why do you do this? Come, run with me through the forest. You'll feel so much better." The giraffe looks at him, tosses it, and goes off running with the rabbit. Then they come across an elephant doing coke. So the rabbit again says, "Elephant, my friend, why do you do this? Think about your health. Come, run with us through the pretty forest. You'll see, you'll feel so good." The elephant looks at them, looks at his razor, mirror, and coke, then tosses them and starts running with the rabbit and giraffe. The 3 animals then come across a lion, eating some smack on a spoon, about to shoot up. The rabbit says, "Lion, my friend, why do you do this? Think about your health. Come, run with us through the beautiful forest and you'll feel so good." The lion looks at him, puts down his needle, and mauls the rabbit. The giraffe and elephant watch in horror and look at him and ask, "Lion, why did you do this?" "He was merely trying to help you." The lion answers, "That little bastard. He makes me run around the forest like a fucking idiot every time he's on ecstasy." A guy finds his dog with the neighbor's pet rabbit in its mouth. The rabbit is dead, and the guy panics. He takes the dirty, chewed-up rabbit into the house. He gives it a bath, blow-dries its fur, and puts it back into the cage at the neighbor's house, hoping they will think it died of natural causes. A few days later, the neighbor asks the guy, "Did you hear that Fluffy died?" The guy stammers and says, No. What happened?" The neighbor replies, "We found him dead in his cage one day, but the weird thing is that the day after we buried him, someone had dug him up, gave him a bath, and put him back into the cage. And now, weirdest of all, even though he's dead, his little left paw keeps moving back and forth, back and forth, back and forth." The guy runs back to his house, digs through the shampoo he used when he cleaned the rabbit. His worst fears are confirmed. Right there on the label, permanent wave for damaged hair. 3 women die and go to hell. They approach a door, and it opens to reveal the most ugly man they have ever seen. The devil's voice booms, "Samantha, you have sinned, and now must spend eternity in the company of this pitiable creature." Crying, the first woman enters, and the door slams shut. The 2 remaining women approach a second door, and it reveals a man even uglier than the first. "Julie, you have sinned, and now must spend eternity with this foul specimen." Wailing, the second woman enters, and the door slams shut. Scared, the final woman approaches a third door. It opens to reveal a tall man with rippling muscles and a chiseled jawline. The woman is so thankful. The devil booms, "David, you have sinned." A man accidentally elbowed a woman's breasts at the hotel lobby. "Man, I'm very sorry, ma'am. But I am sure if your heart is as soft as your breasts, then you'll surely forgive me." "Woman, if your dick is as hard as your elbow, I am in room no. 46. I went to a restaurant this week, and the waiter had his thumb in my soup. Oh. I said, "You've got your thumb in my soup." He said, "I know." I hit it with a hammer and the doctor said I have to keep it warm. I said, "Don't put it in my soup to keep it warm. Stick it up your asshole." He said, "Well, I do when I'm in the kitchen." A 70-year-old man was showing off his 23-year-old wife to his friends. When they asked, "How did you convince her to marry you?" he grinned. "Simple. I lied about my age by 25 years. His friends gasped. "Wait, you told her you were 45? The old man chuckled and shook his head. "Nope. I said I was 95. A guy walks into a bar and orders a beer. "That'll be $5, says the bartender. The guy takes a huge pile of coins out of his pocket and counts out $5 in pennies, nickels, and dimes. He slams them to the floor and they scatter all over. "There you go." The bartender is annoyed but holds his temper and picks up the coins. The guy drinks his beer and leaves. Next night he comes back. Same thing. He orders a beer, then slams the $5 in coins to the floor. Once again the bartender keeps a civil tongue and picks up the coins. Guy drinks and leaves. He comes in the next night and orders a beer. This time, he pays with a $10 bill. The bartender sees his chance for revenge. He counts out the change, $5 in pennies, nickels, and dimes, and throws it on the floor. "There's your change, sir." The guy looks at the coins. "On second thought," he says, "give me 2 beers." A man walks into a bar. He says to the bartender, "Hey, if I show you something amazing, can I drink for free?" The bartender agrees, and the man proceeds to pull out a tiny, 1-foot-tall man with a miniature piano, places him on the bar, and he begins playing. "Wow, okay, your drinks are on the house, but where did you get him from?" says the bartender. "Oh, there's a genie just in the alley behind here, granting a free wish to anyone," replies the man. The bartender quickly rushes out to the alley, and sure enough there's a genie who asks what he would like. "I wish I had $1,000,000 quid." All of a sudden thousands of squids begin to appear, flooding the alley, causing the bartender to rush back into the bar for cover. He screams to the man, "Bloody hell. I wished for $1,000,000 quid and he's given me $1,000,000 squid instead. Must be a bit deaf, that genie." "You think so?" "I mean, of course he is. You didn't think I wished for a 12-inch penis, did you?" Hello, lovers of laughter. This is George. If you want more long compilations of jokes like this, please like and comment below this video. Your reaction is very important. It will help me understand how much you want videos like this. And don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any new videos. See you soon.